Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm sitting outside. It's about 5:30. I have been on the go since, well, I guess since 7, but I have was up at 6. I gotta center you more. Okay, I think that's a little bit better anyway. I have my flags out finally. I dug the one flagpole out of the weeds. Let me show you what we got. Don't know if you can see all of these. Hold on. I'll put a picture of it. It's gonna be too hard. I can't see what you're seeing. We don't want extreme close up here, but so I went to our former camp today. My parents had one and sold it a couple years ago, so this is year 2 without having a camp. But we went up for the day because they were having a pickleball tournament and my mother wanted to see everybody. I'm seriously considering buying a site up there. It's a co-op, so you have to purchase your sites and then there's a board. It sucks that it's that way, but it is what it is. So there is a site that's for sale with the trailer. They're asking $42,000, but she told me she would give me a really good deal on it, so I probably could get it for at least 30. Well, for 30, not at least, but I probably can get it for 32 or less. I think if I offered 30, she would either take it or come back at 32. So I'd have to go to the bank first, make sure I can get the loan. I just want to make sure that I'm not going to be too strapped. I mean, I probably will be. I do have my student loans that are gonna start up in July, I believe. We're gonna take a slight pause because of the dog barking in the background. Good afternoon. So today is Sunday, and today's been kind of a lazy day, relaxing day. I was productive. I tried to video yesterday afternoon, but my neighbor's dog was acting up, and then they got visitors, and then they were in the garage drinking and F-bombing it, so never fails. So I had to stop the outside videoing, and then I was going to take you up to the yarn room and go through a couple of yarn hauls that were very, very small, because I did get the yarn kind of moved, but even now it's not situated because I think I have to move it again. We're gonna go up there later, but right now I just wanted to record a little bit outside since it's nice out. Excuse me, it is kind of getting later. I don't know what time it is right now. I mean, it's not late. It's probably, if I had to guess, 5 or 5:30 maybe. I'm almost at the end of this skein. This is what we look like so far. So it's cute. I like it. I was gonna start another project, but I don't know what I want to do. I think I want to do a shawl. but I have to find a quick pattern. I actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I have one written down. So I may start that. I finally finished that market bag, the first one that had the purple and white in it. Sewed in the ends, so that one's done. I think I'm gonna keep that for myself. It was supposed to be a size medium, but it looks like a large. I ended up not needing the additional skein that I thought I was gonna need. Technically, I should have gotten the skein to finish it, but where I left off at the end of, I think it took 4 skeins to do that bag. At the end of that 4th skein, I felt like it was done enough. It was gonna be strong enough. You know, could it have used a little bit more? Probably. But I'm happy with it. And so the greenish and white one, that one, I made a pretty good, I don't know, I made it pretty good ways. I will either grab that one in a second, or I will show it to you when we go up to the yarn room. And I do have a hat that I started, but it's probably gonna get frogged. I don't know if it's right. I don't know why I can't do hats. But I'm going to finish the tutorial and see if it comes out the way it's supposed to come out. Maybe it just doesn't look like it's gonna be okay, and maybe it will be, I don't know. So we'll see it through and see. I did find 2 other shawls that were in progress. They most likely will need to be frogged because I don't think I know what pattern they were. Usually on YouTube, I will put things like that into a watch later playlist. So they might be in there. I will check. If they're not in there, then I'm gonna have to frog them. I didn't get too far in either one. And then I definitely will have to have a plan going forward for writing down my whips as far as the patterns, so that if I put them down for too long and I need to pick them back up again, I know what I was working on. I have a neighbor that's moving out, so I may have to stop this abruptly, but we'll see. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish this skein, tie in the other one, and then set this down for the night. So the yarn room is my daughter's room. She's away at college. I got the 2, let me back up a little bit. I'm hearing a buzzing. I was going to take a bookshelf from my bedroom and put it in her room, and then put the cubes of yarn in my room, and then I decided kind of at the last minute that I wasn't gonna do that. So then I decided to put the cubes in her room and keep the bookshelf in my room where it is. But this morning, all by myself, I brought her frame, box spring, and mattress from the garage all the way up to her bedroom by myself. I don't need no man. So once I got the bed in there, it's like width of the bed, end table, 2 cubes, everything's packed on that wall, and the headboard is for a queen bed, and it's not attached, it's just against the wall, and her bed is a full, so it looks stupid because the bed needs to be centered. in front of the headboard in order for it to not look off, and I can't do that because the cubes and the end table just take up the whole wall. So I either have to completely remove the headboard, which is not a big deal. I can just have her put up one of her tapestries. Or I need to move those cubes to a different wall in that bedroom. And that may also look silly. So I'm still trying to figure that out. We're gonna still record up there tonight as is. So if it ends up getting moved, you can kind of see that before and after. I have discovered that I have more whips than I thought I had. One of them is pretty sizable, and I think I'm gonna frog it. It's stupid. I don't want to work on it, and I wouldn't want to give it to anybody, and I certainly wouldn't want to sell it. So it only makes sense to frog it and reuse the yarn. So we'll look at that. And I also discovered another bin of what are we calling them? I don't know, just kind of scrappy yarns, I guess. You know, it's a tote full of just like little balls of yarn. Some are big. And I'm working on a scrappy blanket as we speak. And again, to my reliability of making blankets way too wide, because I didn't measure it, it's definitely too wide. And I'm not gonna have enough of the yarn that I used because I striped it to make it long enough versus how wide it is, but we'll see what happens with that. But I definitely have enough other scrappy yarn to kind of make another one, and this time I will start measuring so that I don't run into this problem, because had I made it a proper width, I would have had plenty of yarn to make it a proper length. So I should be crocheting while I talk. So I have quite a bit of yarn that I was also gifted on somebody's channel. It's kind of like a mystery box of stuff, so some of it is kind of cool, some of it, you know, I can certainly use it in something. So a couple of those are kind of what I want to make a shawl out of. We'll take a look at them when we go upstairs later. They're kind of neat colors. And then there is another blanket that I want to make, and I want to use the granny stitch, but I don't want to do a square like I've been doing. I want to kind of do a rectangular granny blanket, which I've never done before, so they're going to be pretty easy. I just need to kind of look on how it first gets started, and then obviously once you have your basic initial rectangle, you're just going in a circle. So so that'll be cool. And I have a tote going now with my makes in it, and I still have at least one tote in the garage that has yarn in it that I did not bring upstairs yet. I might do that before we record up there, just so I got everything up there. It's the tote that has my cotton yarn in it, but I don't know that the whole tote is cotton. It might be mixed, but I don't remember. And then I discovered that I had way more white and cream yarn than I thought I had, because I bought some recently thinking that I didn't have any. Oh, and then that blanket that finished blanket that I showed you a couple videos ago that had that multicolored pastel-y, where I did cream on both either side. And I said, you know, I don't think I have any more of this yarn. Of course, because everything was in storage in the garage and totes, I ended up finding more. So that blanket could have been a lot nicer than it turned out. But it is what it is. What I will probably do going forward is reuse that yarn in a brand new baby blanket, but instead of doing like a rectangular blanket or square blanket, well, I shouldn't say square, a typical side to side kind of a blanket, you know, row by row. I may start it as a granny blanket, square, with the center being the multicolor, and then once the color is gone, then I'll do a pastel or something. I'm not sure yet. So, but that's going to be scrappy yarn, so I don't know when I'm going to start that. It's not on my priority list. I also found my bouquet blanket. It's the blanket that you kind of hold like a bouquet of flowers. I have to figure out, I think I have that pattern in one of my crochet notebooks that I keep in my yarn bag. So I gotta open that up and locate that so that I can, that's one of the whips that I want to kind of get back out and actively start working on, because that's probably about halfway done or almost halfway done. It's depending on how big I want it to be. So so there's a lot going on up there, and it still is in a complete disarray. I mean, for starters, I kind of pushed everything to the side so that I could get the bed set up, and I haven't made up the bed yet. I may or may not do that tonight, I don't know. But at least the bed is now in place. I have a lot of my garage back, and I still got to just sort through that yarn and figure out, you know, if I'm going to start another scrappy blanket with some of the yarn that I have, or if I want to kind of mix it into, you know, cakes. Because I've done that before too, and I haven't started a project with cakes that I've put together though. So when I've mixed colors into cakes, I haven't used those cakes yet, so I don't really know how that's even gonna look. If I'm gonna feel like, I don't know, it probably will come out fine. I think if you do a granny square blanket, it probably would look fine. If you did a side to side, like striped blanket, I don't know if it would. And I don't know if, I don't think it would look good as a scarf either. Maybe it would. But today, I don't know, it's probably about 80 today, right now. In the shade, it's nice. Sun's very hot. But other than bringing the bed upstairs, I didn't do too much. My mother came over and hung out with me for the day, and I made us dinner. She just left about a half an hour ago. I made sausage and peppers, and so that's why I decided to do the video real quick now, because I'm gonna have to go in and clean the kitchen up and then probably video upstairs, since I've been meaning to do that all weekend. But yesterday we went up to camp and had a really great day up there. Weather was fantastic, and then we got an ice cream on our way home. And overall, it was just a really, really nice weekend. Relaxing and fun stuff, and so I was really happy about that. And then next weekend, which is July 4th weekend, my mother and I have a girls' weekend retreat up in Lake George. So we will be heading up Friday when I get out of work, and coming home Sunday morning. We were just going over today kind of the snacks that we wanted to bring up, because I think we decided that Friday night, once we got up there, we were just going to do kind of a charcuterie snack of cheese and olives and crackers and that. Saturday morning, the hotel provides breakfast, so that's taken care of. We would probably skip lunch, because usually I'm not a breakfast eater, so if I do eat breakfast, it lasts me. The neighbors are walking by with the noisy dog. So Saturday we won't have lunch, but then we're going to be heading to the fireworks on foot, most likely. I think there's a little trolley that will bring us the few blocks. But I think we're going to bring our stuff, take the trolley, bring our stuff, and kind of claim our spot. And then from there, it's very touristy, so there's a bunch of places to eat. So then we'll find some place to have a bite to eat, and from there head back over to our spot and wait for the fireworks to start. They're going to start at 9:30, and then after the fireworks we'll take the trolley back, go to bed for the night, wake up Sunday morning, have breakfast again at the hotel, and then head home. And so far, from what I hear of the weather, it's going to be mostly dry. There could be a passing shower around 6 p.m. Saturday evening, but it should not be a washout of any kind. Literally just a shower, so I hope it stays that way. But it's supposed to be very humid, and I think it's going to be very humid all weekend, so that's going to stink. But our hotel has a pool. They have an indoor one and an outdoor one. So we may do that Friday when we get there. We probably won't do it at all Saturday, and then Sunday we won't have any time. So I think if we're going to swim at all, it would be Friday. But I think it's going to be a fun weekend, and I really don't think the rain's going to be anything significant. So we'll bring our small little umbrellas just in case we need to sit in our chair with an umbrella over our head. But with any luck, it'll pass through briefly while we're eating, and then we'll be fine for the fireworks. All right, well, we got to that end of the skein. So I think at this point, I am going to stop for now, and then we will reconvene later upstairs in the yarn room. Okay, we are up in the yarn room, and I'm gonna flip you back in a second, but I just wanted to kind of give a brief overview of what the room looks like, and then I will hop on camera and we will go through a few things. I know this video is already kind of long, so I'm gonna try and get through this pretty quick. So this is where we walk in the door. I'm gonna walk over there now and walk in so you can see. Okay, So that's where I'll be sitting. That's her desk, her dresser, the bed that I brought up, and this is all the yarn. Not all the yarn, but the two, well, there's one tote I think still in the garage with my cotton yarn. I didn't bring that up yet. This is what I was talking about the headboard. So, I don't know if you can really see it. Hold on. This is in the way. Okay, so the mattress is not centered, and I can't bring the headboard to the left anymore because the heater is down there. And so it's over to the left as far as it will go. And that whole wall is jam-packed. So either I get rid of the headboard or I move these totes, or I'm sorry, the cubes. That green tote is now the Makes tote. This bottom clear tote is scrappy yarn. That bag has got a couple of whips in it, one of them being, actually there's 2 Halloween ones in there. And these are a couple of cakes that I made up. I haven't really used them quite yet. This does not belong in there. That belongs with the very large blanket that I need to frog because it's ugly. More cream yarn that I found. This I just threw in the bed because that was another giveaway that I got for free. Okay, so there's a lot going on here. This is the scrappy blanket that I'm working on. That, again, too wide, but we're wrapping that up. The pink bag is my daughter's, so I'm just going to put that in the closet. That tote, for the most part, is just Bernat blanket yarn. I haven't really gone through and sorted it really yet. This is a yarn haul I gotta talk to you about. This is also a yarn haul. This is a Whips tote. The blanket was actually made by a girlfriend of mine. She gave me some yarn and I was gonna try and finish the blanket, but I have to figure out what stitch she did. This was even, I think this was a couple years ago. I'm pretty sure it might be the moss stitch. I'm not positive, so we have to go through that. But there's other whips in there. This is a beautiful yarn, but I realized after trying to make a granny square blanket that it's way too heavy and thick, so that yarn's gonna have to be for a scarf or something, most likely. This is a blanket that I've been working on for, I am not kidding you, 15 years. It's huge, it's for me, and it's always a project that I put on the back burner. And then these are just some extra like project bags that are in here. There's really nothing in there. This is a cotton yarn that needs to go with the rest of the cotton yarn when it comes up stairs. So I guess the first thing we will do is we'll go through kind of the haul that I did. So the first haul that I did was Michael's, and I don't know if I have my receipt here or not. I'm gonna have to wait on this one. All right, I think before I get into this, let me switch this whole camera thing around. So hold on. Okay, I'm back. And for the record, because you may not have noticed it, but it's bothering me, this spot right here on my shirt, I had a biopsy done and I've been putting Vaseline on it. So that's kind of why it's coming through my shirt. And it's kind of itchy and bothering me. So every once in a while I keep touching it. So let me just go through this bag really quick to see if my receipt's in here. I don't think it is. I think I put it in my drawer. Okay, I'm prepared. Hold on. Okay, I am back. Not really much more prepared than when I left. Don't know where the receipt went for this haul. This was a Michael's haul. And I think, no. I thought this was the $5 off, which is why I shopped there. But because of this sale, I got $5 off, and that was the second haul. So I don't know how much these two were, but I am fairly certain that they were on clearance because I would not have gotten them otherwise. I don't particularly love the color, but I like the fact that it was an ombre and that they were the thicker yarn. So anyway, I got those two. Again, I know they were on clearance. My guess is they were either $5 or $7 a piece. I'm gonna say 7, not positive, but I got just 2 of those. And I got one of these, which was $5. Again, don't love this one. There's some halo to it, but I figured this would be cute for a hat or something. And again, need to master the hats to make a hat, I guess, right? And then I got 4 of these. They were only $3. They had more. I was gonna get more, but I really don't like the color. And I'm trying to think to myself that a lot of times I need to not worry about whether I like the color or not, because other people might like the color. And if I'm gonna make product to sell, it only matters that they like it. So again, I only like to buy yarn if it's on sale. So it was a good steal. So I got 4 of those. And then I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 6 of these. They were $4 a piece. And I have 5 here because I was making the hat out of the other one. And I think this is the one that doesn't look right to me, but maybe it is. So kind of looks like a beret right now. I was increasing and then I stopped increasing. Like there's a lot, I don't know. It doesn't look right to me, but I'm gonna keep up with the video and maybe it fixes itself. I don't know. Otherwise it gets frogged. So that is that haul. And then because of that sale, I got $5 off. So I got these for $6 a piece. I love this color. I don't typically like crocheting with this yarn, but the color was so pretty and I was able to get enough of them. So this is the Fluffy Chenille, and what's the colorway? Pale blue. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so I got 5 of these. I think I took all that they had there, but they also had another color, which was like a celery green or a sage green. It was kind of very springy looking. I was thinking about getting that as well since it's on clearance. If they still have it, I still might get it because I used my $5 off coupon for this last haul, which was a few days ago. And then I didn't spend $35, which is what you spend to get a $5 off. But then I seem to have gotten a text from Michael's within 24 hours that said, "We miss you, here's $5. So because I have that other $5, I might go back and get the green, the celery green, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see. I keep buying yarn that I don't need, but you know, it's hard to not buy it when it's on sale or clearance. So those are the 2 hauls. And I mean, the yarn is arranged the best way that I could. The problem I have with arranging my yarn is that I have all different thicknesses, you know. I've got 4 weight, I've got 5 weight, I've got 6 weight, I've got like a multicolored mixed, I got solids. I don't really know how to arrange it. I don't like to just put it by color, because if I need a green and I go into the green cube and it's all 6 weight and I'm looking for a 4 weight, that's not going to help me. Like I kind of want all my 4 weight together. That's what I use the most. So I don't know if maybe I just keep, I don't have a lot of bulky, so maybe I just keep that in a tote on its own. And I think that's what I'm going to do now that I'm kind of talking through it. I think all of my cotton yarn, all of my Bernat blanket yarn, all of my super bulky yarn, I think they're all going to be in a tote of their own. And I'm going to use the cubes to just put my normal 4-weight yarn that I use most of the time. That seems to make the most sense. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So I guess that's probably all I have right now. My thought on moving around these cubes was, because these shelves are on the wall behind me here, I was going to put a cube on either side and then move the desk over to where the cubes are. I just don't know. I mean, the cubes got to fit between the dresser and the shelves, and then between the door and the shelves here. I'm going to measure and see. Even if it fits, I just don't know if it's going to look right. The other option is if I laid the cubes down on their side and then stacked one on top of the other. The only issue with that is they will come up probably too high for that lowest shelf. And I really don't want to take the shelves down. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet. I could move these cubes to my room and bring the bookshelf over here like I was going to do originally, and that probably would look better. I hate moving that bookshelf. I hate it. But now that I'm thinking about it, that might be what I do. But it's not getting done tonight because it is now 8 o'clock. And I just want to get a drink and find out what my next project's going to be and get started on that, I guess. All right, thanks for watching, and I guess I will see you guys on the next one.